ridiculous. CCalms going to be taking on Karma. Oh my goodness, I'm already getting chills. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about to be ridiculous match. Let's go make sure we are recording properly. Yes, we are. Okay, good stuff. So spawning, both of these guys going to be spawning on the bottom side of the map. It is Karma spawning as pink Protoss down here in the bottom right. In the bottom left, we do find CCalms spawning as teal. Man, I love myself some PvPs these days. It is one of the most, I heard somebody say this in the Art of War channel actually, saying that it's an elegant matchup. And I was like, man, you know what? It really is. It's one of these that timings mean everything. You've got to have a perfect flow and great scouting to make it happen, especially if your opponent is going to do something very aggressive like Korean 4-gate or something like that. So it could be very interesting when we do see that CCalms sending out a fairly early probe here. Going to get this guy, and it looks like he is headed in the correct direction first, so is going to get some good scouting in here right away. Notice that Karma not scouting quite yet, probably going to scout after his gateway goes down. But both of these guys, I do want to mention, very high-level master players. Karma been hanging out a lot lately and been actually giving a lot of guys from Alt Starcraft a little bit of help in some of their training, observing some of their games, helping them out a little bit. We do have this gateway going down here for Karma. And it looks as though we have one for CCalms as well. Indeed we do. So standard openers it looks like from both of these guys. However, it does notice the difference in the build positioning. It looks as though Karma is going to block off his, what do you call it, mineral line. There we go. Is going to block off his mineral line. Not a bad idea. I like doing that. It makes it a little bit easier sometimes to defend your mineral line, but CCalms is pretty good at defending in general too, so could be an interesting PvP we're gearing up for. We do have a gas complete here for CCalms as well as for Karma, so almost a perfect mirror build. I mean, look at the timings on these things. Almost identical at this point. Got to love that. Let's just check the units tab real quick. Notice they're exactly the same, except for the only difference here is that they're just slightly different now on the probe production. Only a few seconds difference there, though. Cybercore does go down for Karma in pretty decent time, as well as for CCalms. Notice that they are just about the same. Look at that. 1 second difference in those timings. Wow. Do have a second assimilator going down for CCalms as well as for Karma, but Karma's actually slightly behind his opponents there. Looks like about a 6 or 7 second difference. That could potentially make it just a little bit interesting here. We'll see what these guys are going to be going, though. My guess is with this much gas, we are not going to be seeing any 4-gating going on. We could potentially see some 3-gate robos, maybe even a 2-gate robo. Not a bad build these days, especially in our PvP matchups, as well as a Blink Stalker. Now, I have seen CCalms go a Blink Stalker build in his PvPs before, out on his live stream, and that is so much fun to watch. So, and if you guys need a good live stream to go check out, definitely check out CCalms. It is twitch.tv/CCalms, and my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, you can really get a lot of learning in from that guy. And so it's pretty fun. Check him out. And let's take a look here at Karma. We do have a robotics facility going down behind the mineral line. Going to try and prevent the scouting on that robotics facility. Notice that he did wall off, completely wall off just about this mineral line. The only spot that he has open here, I think, is right here and here, just to be able to get in there. So not bad, but a pretty tight wall in will make it difficult for his opponent to get units in there. So not bad play there. Do have what appears to be a Stargate for CCalms, and that is going to be interesting. So Stargate versus Robo. Take your picks, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is going to win that? Is it going to be the Stargate? Is it going to be the Robo? A lot of the times this is going to depend on their attack timings when they choose to be moving out. We'll see how that's going to go. We do have a Stalker cruising up the ramp here for CCalms. A little bit of a probe battle here. Looks like Karma going to get the better of that one, but here comes the Stalker for CCalms. Is going to be able to take out this probe, it appears. Down he goes. Did save his little probe buddy there. Good stuff. Let's check the units tab here real quick. Notice that it is very even economically. CCalms only ahead by 1 probe. Does have 3 Stalkers out on the field right now. Cruising around the map, he's been fairly active with these Stalkers, so that's pretty nice stuff. I mentioned real quick, I guess I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but it is a best of 1 in this round in tonight's tournament, so we've got to try and cruise through these players fairly fast. Notice that he did get Phoenix out for this build. Oh my goodness, and here comes the scouting Phoenix. Nice, getting a good bit of intel there. Does see the Twilight Council going down for Karma. Could be interesting. It looks as though CCalms may choose to put some pressure on his opponent. Look at that. He's continuing to chrono boost out Phoenix. Now, Phoenix, a very, very interesting build here. He did get a robotics facility of his own. Looks like he's going to be using that just for the observers for now. But here comes the attack, lifting 2 sentries right off the ground immediately. There goes one of the Guardian shields there, going to try and prevent CCalms from doing too much damage. It looks as though he will be able to hold CCalms off here. CCalms is going to have to back out. Now check units lost. Notice that CCalms did take a beating in that exchange, losing quite a few units. Probably going to have to see him transition here, I think, just a little bit and make a little bit slightly different play. Looks like he may be gearing up for an expand. Yes, he is. There he is, going to take his expansion and going to play defensively here for just a little bit, I think. Maybe going to be active with these Phoenix, which is not a bad idea. Let's take a look and see what defense we have here for Karma at the mineral line. Not very much, so he could potentially do some attacking of the mineral line. But in the meantime, it looks as though Karma is going to push out across the map. I think he feels very, very far ahead at this point. Notice that CCalms, because of that scouting, seeing this push, chose to go ahead and cancel this expand. Going to be getting out as many units as he possibly can. Does have a couple Phoenix here. And going to be getting out an Immortal. Absolutely going to need that, I think, in this exchange. But it may come too little too late. Now this is kind of a tense moment. Karma deciding whether or not he wants to cruise up this ramp. Going to be putting down a forward pylon here. It looks as though he may cruise up the ramp. We do have a couple Zealots warping in. It looks like CCalms may have just enough, especially because he's bought himself enough time here to get out an Immortal. Chrono's going down here. Getting this Immortal out is going to be key, I think, for CCalms. He still is going to have a slight disadvantage in the unit composition, but the Immortal's definitely going to be super effective here against all of these Stalkers. CCalms going to lose a pylon here, and it looks as though Karma going to be putting the pressure on his opponent right away. CCalms pulling all of his probes. Is he going to be able to take this down? Got to get this guy out of his base here, but Karma getting very, very tricky here, taking out a lot of pylons. CCalms now stuck. Cannot warp in more units until he engages this army. Here comes the main attack. Is he going to be able to do it? You see all these Stalkers getting lifted off by the Phoenix, but it looks as though this damage may not be enough here from CCalms. He is now unsupply blocked, can warp in more units. He does have one more Immortal, which is definitely going to be helpful here, but it may not be enough. Look at that blink being utilized so effectively here from Karma, and it looks as though he may be able to take this down. It's going to come down to if he can focus down this last Immortal. One more Immortal on the field doing a lot of damage. 5 kills on that guy right now, but he is going to go down before he gets a 6th, and CCalms now in brutal, brutal shape. It looks as though Karma may be able to take this win down. So close and so much back and forth here. I cannot believe what we are seeing right now, and this is so close. Look at this. Wow, CCalms doing a lot of work here, but blinking forward here, and the last Stalker here for CCalms is going to go down, it appears. He is going to pull some more probes here and try and get it done. Is it going to be enough? Oh my goodness. Does not look like it. Karma now warping in more units, and look at this, just so many units to deal with here. One last Immortal here for CCalms, pulling all of his probes. Blink being used to focus that guy down, and there is the GG, and CCalms done with this tournament. Absolutely crazy stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, Karma will be moving on in this tournament, so congrats to him, but thanks for CCalms for coming out and playing. Man, I sure love that guy, but he has not been able to place in my tournaments yet. Hopefully one day. We'll see you guys next time.